Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our next program. We are here live at the Grovian Doll Museum. Our program that we have coming right now is called Truly Scrumptious, and it's a very delicious little treat, which kind of sounds like a summer fling. Right, Michael?
Yes, sure. Why not? Why not? Well, hello, everybody. And we wanted to do something a little different. Those of us that collect dolls, we also love accessories. And a lot of times, and we love holiday things, and we love themes. And a lot of you I know love to do tableaus and vignettes. And one of the things that we collect and we really love are candy containers. So we're going to look at some candy containers, and some of them are in shapes and forms beyond dolls, but they're something that they're Victorian delights. So we're going to start, and we're going to go right in, and we're going to start looking at them. The typical candy container that you'd probably find out in the world and that we've all had would be Easter items. So here we have a hare, that's a hare, not a bunny, pulling a cart. But what is interesting is it's actually a Christmas cart, which doesn't really make any sense because it's a bunny. And bunnies are about, in mythology and Christianity, are about new birth, resurrection, etc. But this is actually a little candy container. So the head would come off, and it's a little tight, so I won't take it off, but you can visualize that it comes off, and then it would have hard candies, like the kind of candies that a hard candy, we all know what those are. So that's what it would be filled with, and sometimes little, almost like little pellets. And we have another bunny here, and this is Rachel, it's a stagecoach.
They have them out where I live.
They have them out where you live. So this is a really nice early, probably 1905. And again, his head is tight in there, but there you can see. And what's truly amazing about these is they're basically just made out of plaster of Paris with additives in them. So, bunnies are going to be the thing that you see the most plentiful. Now, I use the bunnies in things where it's whimsical with character kids and whatnot. And then the second thing you're going to see candy containers in the form of Christmas pieces. This is a really nice candy container of Father Christmas or Saint Nicholas. And what's really nice about this is there's a lot of very good artists out there doing artist pieces, but this one is the real deal. And we have a great provenance on it that goes back to the 1880s. So, it's nice to have this. And this we'll put in our Christmas tableau, which is kind of always up, but then at the season we'll move it around and put character dolls with it, and has some things that could be controversial, but they've been on him and they will remain on him. But you can see that there's the tube, and this actually still has a smell of chocolate in it.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
which is really kind of wonderful.
He's in remarkable
He
condition.
is.
A lot of times they're very dirty.
Yes, but he's been in he's been very well taken care of, and he's been stored for quite a few years, decades in a proper storage unit. So this would be like the most typical kind of candy box that you would see, French candy box, and this would have waxed paper, and it would have the candies in it when it would be wrapped. Well, a good part of these, after they were used, these became the storage unit for small dolls. Why wouldn't you? It's a beautiful color.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like to use a candy box, like something like this, for high-low when you're doing display. It's a you can put a few accessories on this, and you can have a beautiful little look. Then the other thing that constantly comes up, but are so charming, are Luggage.
Love Luggage.
Because this would be a little, if you were going on a trip and you're coming on the Queen Mary or going on the Grand Cruise, you'd just go to the candy store, which candy stores used to be art. Shopping used to be art. So you would buy some 10 or 12 of these and bring them back for your friends and family, and you'd have a great little gift. This one, see, I love the forms. Look at the form of that.
That's fantastic.
So it's an armoire, but it opens up, and it's a candy
container.
box. Now, who wouldn't take the candy box and put their doll in it? I mean,
would.
it's just perfect. You know, put a nice size mignonette in there with all of her clothes. Now, this is a wonderful Santa, and we use him in displays. But this is not it's an artist piece. And the reason I know it was an artist piece is when it came to us, it has like $1 million worth of German money rolled up that eventually, after the Nazi regime became worthless, they actually burned it to keep warm, but someone found it and rolled it all up. So if it were real,
How interesting.
Yeah, it would be $1 million. So it's always important to do your research. Perhaps that money is not really real, but it's a great piece, and whoever did it is talented. And you know what? It's still enjoyed. It's a big old giant candy container. So the people were very, very clever that made that. Now, in our fashion doll tableaus, we have a lot of candy box things. And here you can see how we use this. So we've got our, the elusive cat in the bird cage. And then you take it and you open it. And it's beautifully padded tabaret.
That's gorgeous.
So that was a great candy container. And this,
How romantic.
isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that? And beautiful legs. And sometimes it will have the address of the store, oops, kitty. Well, we can come back to you, kitty. And again, this is a nice place to do a high-low where you can put little special things that you can see. And then here is, again, a candy container done in the form of a piece of furniture. And
That has to be very rare.
these come up, but it's a rare piece, and it's meant to simulate Boule furniture, which Boule furniture is a style. Boule was a maker, and it is a style of furniture that has an inlay, and the inlay is brass and tortoiseshell. So you can see this would be very like brass inlay, and then that is simulating tortoiseshell. So again, if you're doing a French fashion scene, it's great to have these things. Now, this is something that you don't see every day.
I've been eyeing this and
You just
wondering
don't
what's going on
see-
here.
Well, it is a chicken, and it is supposed to, although it is not a rooster, but this was what was available. This is the fabled Chanticleer. So someone has done some taxidermy work, and then it has fabulous doll arms on it, and he's got a backpack, and then the candy would go in the silk bag.
And this was a gift.
This was a gift, and it was obviously somebody who loved the fable of Chanticleer. And one of my first jobs was actually it was one of the first jobs I got fired from, which was to design the costumes for the opera Chanticleer. And they gave me a budget of $150. You can't do anything. Even then, it was back in ancient days, $150 wasn't a lot to buy material. And at the time, I really didn't know dolls, but I knew my vision that I was going for. I realize now, because I thought about it, was I was actually going to make Chanticleer and the other characters, I was going to make them into lenches or stifes using felt and then spray painting it. And, they wanted me to do all these feathers and things. And that would have looked like a showgirl thing. My idea would have popped on stage. And I was very delighted when they got really bad reviews for their costumes. But I learned from that. Then, for all of us collectors, I mean, when you get your accessory animals, like this little puppy,
mouth.
I mean, this is a great,
Oh, yeah.
isn't that a great piece?
Oh, it's so comical and very animated.
And I mean, the good ones, I will tell you, are not inexpensive. They do cost money. But you know what? When you're on a dolly diet and you can't buy a chameau or a brew, these are a nice little fix. And they add a lot to a collection and to life. And some of the things in this building that people really hassle us about in the museum part, some people have no boundaries. They will just keep at you. It's the animals. A lot of the animals are very prized that people want, but they're not getting them. So, and then here's another funny little dog,
Look
but
at
it's
it.
a bulldog.
Is that a
But-
pipe?
And he's a little Sherlock. So it's a little, and again, you can see,
Marcy's going to be loving this.
well, it's a Sherlock bulldog. And this one's so great that he could actually, I mean, we should make
Love him.
molds of him and do him because it's so cute.
That is
It kind of
darling.
looks like Louis when he's,
Lou.
when Blue's being sweet.
Yes.
And then, I don't know where this came from because David just put this here, but it's got to be in the building somewhere.
pug.
But it's a big pug.
Love that.
So it's a great big pug.
oh,
And,
love
and
its little
again,
body.
this is good with the character kids. And then, you know what, some of the boxes, I mean, this is so beautifully, I mean, look at this paper and the trims. I mean, it's just super. And this can go beautifully with a French fashion doll.
Absolutely.
And we have had many French fashion dolls that have had original trunks with a set, and the little girls added these into, you get your one-time candies, and then you turn around and use it for other things. Waste not, want not. So we've gone through kind of, these are the things you regularly see, you could find, you just have to, be diligent. But then we have the mother lode of all candy boxes. Which
Yes.
This is this fantastic French fashion doll reclining on her Turkish divan. And, the 1860s through probably about 1910 or so was the age, it was known as the age of the upholsterer. Everything was upholstered. A matter of fact, everyone should stop and Google Queen Victoria's railroad car. And her railroad car still exists, and it is filled with furniture this color, all tufted. So, this was the most luscious thing for this. I don't know that she's a harem girl. I think she is a girl, a lady that is in her at-home, sexy clothes, lounging in a kind of exotic way.
As one does.
As one does when you're alone at home. But here's what I will show you. See, it opens up, and that's a candy container.
I could not imagine receiving this. How wonderful.
And now, do we know how many? I've never seen another one. In my whole career, there might be another one. It has a very unique chest, if you notice. It has true to life details, which I've never seen before. These hands are uniquely cut, and the face is incredible. So this is a wonderful thing, and I'm sharing it with you because she's going to be going out.
She's going on a summer fling.
Well, she's going on a summer fling, but she's coming out of a display because we need to change things over. So she's been on display for a while, so it's time for her she could go home and, maybe I'll turn that way. She's going to go home so she won't be seen, but they can look at her here. But I just wanted to,
Oh, yes.
I mean, and then this is a cutie too. Look at that one.
We also didn't talk about your pig.
Oh, we didn't talk about the pig.
No.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, I adore pigs. And this is you see, it's got a coin, a German coin on it. It's paper. It's not a real coin. In Germany and in Britain, pigs are a New Year's good luck charm. So just like and so here it opens up, and it's probably post-war piggy. But what is interesting is Chris noticed, and I think she's absolutely right. If you look at the design of it, it's very much like the modern animation right now that they're doing, with these little tiny eyes and these kind of squatty, and then it's got its little mushroom, which is also a good luck charm. But I love pigs, so I'm not collecting pigs.
Cute.
So, but I do love pigs, because otherwise, if I said I was collecting pigs, I'd have like 400. I should say I'm collecting pigs, but I want good ones. Only send me your good pigs. But and again, that's something that they're not. That has its original box, which is kind of special. And this goes in the Max and Moritz cabinet because they have a relationship with pigs. And then there are we go back to this one. Here's a bully type. It looks kind of like a young bulldog. But again, it's a candy container covered with felt. And they're fun to collect. I mean, if I go out and I went to a show and I found this, I would think that was a great day to find a little thing like this. And then there's just the gorgeous boxes that again that get used. We use them all for, and what's really fabulous is it's got
the chocolate.
yeah. And then it's a dress, and then when you get something like this, you can use the internet, and you can go look up that address, and then you can see the building. And sometimes we're really, really lucky that the companies are still in business. And, sometimes these companies bring these things back because people still, when you get a gift in a box like this, it just tastes better.
Well, but
it just tastes better.
Absolutely.
Like you go to Luggage in Paris and the boxes and everything. I swear it tastes better because everything is so beautiful.
Well, when you send out a package from the Carmel Doll Shop Boutique, do you just throw it in a Ziploc?
Oh, every time. I finally now Eddie's in charge of that because he's got that down. No, because it matters.
It does.
Presentation matters. It doesn't mean that the say in the case of Luggage, they know what they're doing as far as they could put it in a Ziploc bag and send it out. But it tastes better. It's more of an experience. And that's what I think is so important about the 19th century and early 20th century life. Things mattered. I don't get the klept very often, but one of our club members brought me an egg that she made, this special egg. And then it really reminded me when I was a kid, my mother did not do Easter baskets. She didn't do any of that kind of thing. She would go to See's, and back in the day, they made these big, giant See's candy. And if those of you that don't know what it is, all I can say is you're just missing out. And we sometimes send it to friends, and they'll tell their friends, this is very special. This is See's candy. But we used to get these big, fat eggs that were solid stuff. They weren't hollow, they were solid, and they're beautifully decorated. And that stays with you, that kind of quality. And that's what this was all about. And in a lot of ways, if you think about it, Chanticleer, which is such a crazy thing, it survived because it was
Special.
fun, it was special, it meant something. We don't know, was it a chicken farmer? I mean, who knows? But, that was a very unique thing. And these things were very special. And I mean, this totally goes with dolls. If you collect dolls, this is kind of one of those little sideline things with doll collecting.
Well, I have a quick question before we
Yes,
sign
sure.
off, because you said earlier that one of the first jobs you were fired from. What was the second job you were fired from?
I was never fired again.
Okay. You said one of the first.
No, I don't think I was ever, no, I was never fired after that. No, I may have been fired one time before that. And that was, I worked in a clothing store, and this is going way back too. And I was quite the little fashionista, and I had to have every kind of new polyester thing that they made. And I had my little charge account, and I think they were afraid that my charge account went up too high, and they fired me. And I thought, I was actually at the time I was really, really devastated. And then I thought, well, that was a dumb reason to fire me. I mean, I was a walking billboard for their clothes. I think I was in high school at the time, so it was only those two.
Okay.
But to go back to the Chanticleer opera, I look back on it now, and sometimes I watch there's reality shows of opera houses, of what's going on, and I look at them, and I don't mind saying this on the internet. I will say it because it's true, and I think these are horrible people. I don't mean the performers and the people that are singing the opera, but the behind the scenes. And I think I could be in that world and I wouldn't even know any different. I would know that this is just a normal thing. So I really, 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 they did me a favor. They did me a favor because, first of all, my girls never complain about anything. They're always happy with whatever you make for them. Their weights most of the time don't ever change. They don't have any color preference. And the main thing that I realized by that is, it's one thing if you're working with a prima donna, a wonderful prima donna, you know what she likes, what her colors are, she's no problem. And by the way, we've worked with some very famous individuals that are known for being difficult, and they're not. You just have to know them. You've got to be able to see them, their color, their cut, their aesthetic. That's easy. What was really hard about the opera thing is you've got to make everybody, you've got the director of the house, the budget people, you got to make all of them happy. So I don't have to do that.
No, one person.
Yes, I do. That's right. One person. He's in the kitchen. and he'll,
working to make us happy.
Yeah, and he'll come by and he'll say, that should be changed. And I was like, ooh, you make me so mad.
Oh, because
you're right.
Oh, dang it.
It's like, oh, yeah.
He gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
but you know what?
He's
had a little come up lately, because he's my editor of the patterns and the directions. And he's admitted that, I don't understand what you do. I don't understand it. And he's a very tough editor. And he said, I don't understand what you do, so I have to make it that if somebody is starting out sewing and doing, and which is that's our goal, is to bring new people in to the hobby. And he said, if I don't understand, they might not understand, so you've got to make me understand.
That is so appreciated as well.
Yes. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't make me cry sometimes. Not cry, but I'm like, oh no, I have to explain to you. Sometimes I have to cut paper out and say, see, this piece goes with this. And then he'll get it. So anyway, so everything worked out. But we digressed. But,
sometimes it's fun to go take a little side trips.
But
we love this.
I hope you enjoy seeing them, and I hope you all get out and collect them. But let me get a couple first, and then you can have the rest. And I noticed, and one thing that's interesting is this is a great cat, but it's not a candy container. Cats are really hard to find. So if you manage to get a cat candy container,
post it in the comments.
Well, grab it, and don't be thinking, oh, that's a terrible price. It doesn't matter what price it is if it's great, because you can't get them. Mm-hmm. They're very hard to get, the cats. because those cat people,
They don't let them
they,
go.
they don't let them go and they collect them up. And I kind of think, I may be wrong, but there may be more varieties of dogs out there than cats, because you've got the white Persian, the gray Persian, they don't usually do Siamese and things like that. So cats are something that everybody should just snatch them up.
Get them up. How do you do that? How do you do it when you come in to get?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've had people that have, like, I'm very polite. I would never get in someone else's deal. But you know what? If you come and stand in front of me at an event and try to I'll go right over you.
It'll just go right in and get it.
Yeah, and yes.
So
you
well,
got to
like
hold
your
your
move.
own ground.
You got to hold your own ground,
Yeah.
especially when
whoever
there's
gets there first, that's fair and square.
Yep.
But no, just I'll go.
You better watch out when Michael's
Like a
coming down the
cuttlefish.
aisle. Oh, well, this was a blast. We had such a great time. Thank you for the inspiration, Michael. It's always just
it's our
wonderful.
pleasure.
Yeah, we're having a great time here at the Summer Fling.
We are.
All
we
right.
are.
We'll see
See
you
you
at
later.
the next
Bye-bye, doll
program.
friends.
Bye-bye.